Liverpool versus everybody. It is Friday. Getting close to the game. Still got to wait. Be interesting to see some of the games this weekend. Some good matchups. But Liverpool, that's what this is about. Liverpool channel. Klavan. Looks like Klavan is pretty much almost on his way out. Um, Cagliari, am I pronouncing it right? Italian side. Um, when I first heard of this, I'm thinking, why would we be doing this? You know, only having a couple fit center backs right now with Matip going through his usual thing, which it seems like for the last couple of seasons, seems like he's been struggling on and off with injuries. It's Joe Matip, Lovren, we know his issue right now, and that's pretty much where we stand. And so first, I'm thinking, why would we do that? Why would we do that? What's up, Mercy? Um, but the reason is because Klopp believes in the youth, and I think he sees and realizes at this time that he sees Gomez as that guy. You know, I think the performance Gomez did while against West Ham, first game of the season, we don't want to get too excited. I think he believes it's time for Gomez to take that spot and play the position he thought or he sees fit for him to play. Um, so it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And, Nat Phillips as well. So he looks at Nat Phillips as being a young guy who can really come up in the team and open up space for some of these young guys to come in. Dominic says, I think that new fullback makes a lot of sense for the future. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a second. If the club are wishing to play Trent in midfield, yes, club on his crap. Fair enough. I mean, I think of all the center backs, he might be the weakest. Maybe I think between him and Matip, it's kind of up to you what you think. I think Matip has been kind of crap for large parts. I think when he first came in, he arguably was the best center back we had, and he looked really good and promising. And you thought, wow, got this big kind of physical presence. And then at some point, I don't know if it's through injuries, lack of confidence, or what, Matip just seems kind of like a pushover, really, and that's real sad. You don't want a guy that big coming in and playing that way. But enough about Matip. I wish Klavan the best. It looks like that's definitely going to happen. I would be more comfortable with Klavan than Matip. Yeah, I agree with that one, and that's kind of my point. But listen, I mean, Klavan is the odd guy out. He's the guy that I think Klopp really valued as far as his commitment to the club, his commitment to playing. He pretty much played well the most times that he played, from what I can remember. Um, his experience, he's a senior member of the squad, one of the older guys, captains, Estonia. We all know that. So, but again, it looks like he really values Nat Phillips and thinks that his skills will be a really integral part to what Liverpool do. Now I know Klopp's pre-match this Palace is going to be coming up soon, might even be on now. So I know a lot of you guys might be watching that. That's cool. I'm gonna get onto that when I'm done here. But as Dominic mentioned, um, you said Klavan wasn't that bad. I don't think he was that bad. Oh, you talking about Matip? Who you talking about, my man? The new guy, whose name I cannot pronounce, Ki-Jana Hoever, very coveted Dutch player from Ajax, and a guy that, again, a lot of teams were in for. Klopp is the reason we are getting all of these looks. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I put in the title about thanking Southampton because apparently Southampton did everything they could to see off City. Now, I say that, but it seems kind of bizarre because City can go and get whoever they want to get. Let's be honest. City, Man United, or all these teams, they have so much money. If they want a guy, if they point him out because of their name, people usually will come, especially City or United. Jason said, I had to sneak off my desk at work. Oh, man, thank you, man. Don't get fired, though. Don't get fired, bro. But I appreciate that. Matip is garbage, but he's better than Klavan. Um, that one's hard for me to say, Mercy. I think I get what you're saying. I think overall I'd probably say I'd go with Matip. But he hasn't really shown me enough consistency, man. Especially with these injuries, it's hard to really say who's better. And again, all those one game against West Ham, that Gomez performance is probably one of the best I've seen in a while, next to Van Dijk. I mean, it really was. And again, we'll see how that looks against Palace and these other teams that he plays against. Again, it's just one game, but I'm happy to see Gomez until one of those guys get fit, whether it's Matip or Lovren. At this point, you don't really know. I don't even know what Matip's issue is. Is Lovren going to be back before him? Maybe Nat Phillips is going to get a little more playing time. Maybe before he even thought he would, before we even thought he would. So we'll stay tuned for that. Dominic says, I like the fact that we're picking up talents from the rest of Europe. Yeah, especially when it's a player. Not only that, but especially when it's a player when you know all these top teams that in years past, Liverpool's not getting them. They're not. With Brendan Rodgers, we're not getting these guys. With that's just fact. Without Klopp and the style we play and the way we're spending this money right now and just how we look on a European stage, we're not getting these players without Klopp. And he's the key for all of this. Mame, technically Matip is better, but Klavan seems more reliable. See, I agree with that. I agree with that. When you look at both of them play, most people would say, Matip, the height, the length he has. But yeah, I think Klavan has been at least a bit more reliable for us, in my opinion. So I agree with that, Mame. Dominic, I've never heard of him. No, neither have I. But Ajax were apparently good at he's left. Yeah, that's what Pierce has said, and that's what I've read about. Again, a coveted player, and I think Ajax was really sore to leave him, to have him go. But apparently, he has to go through all these stages of getting, the right documents, whatever, to play at Liverpool. It might be a while before we see him, but yeah. And Ajax have a great academy, so he must be good. Yeah. I mean, we've seen the players that they've produced over the years. So yeah, that's good. That's good. And Southampton, I brought them up because again, it's amazing to me that City thought, and I think they've been bringing it up in the documentary on Amazon Prime about City, Pep. Apparently, it's supposed to be a really good documentary. I'm not going to pay $12 a month for Amazon Prime to watch it. So if anybody has a link, help your brother out. But yeah, I mean, the fact that City was thrown off by that, but then they went to go got Laporte and Stones, and they thought those two were better. Hey, more power to them. I'm sure if they're honest, fans or Pep, in hindsight, they'd say, you know what, we probably should have got Van Dijk. I know Van Dijk really, really wanted the Liverpool move, and we know player power now. Whether City came in for that or not, I think Van Dijk would have said, yeah, cute, nice, Pep, but I want Liverpool. I want that crazy German on the sidelines, and I want to get hugs from him when I come to the sideline, and I want to, help put Liverpool back on the map, if you will. So, again, it's just another reminder of how much pull we have, which is really, you got to pinch yourself. I mean, again, not that long ago, these players were ducking Liverpool, whether it's because people didn't want to come and play in Liverpool, live in Liverpool. Let's face it. The London teams have a bit more pull, right? The city, London, the vibrancy. I mean, it's just for all I can see, it's maybe a better place to live. Okay, but these days, it's guys will put that to the side, and it's like, look, this is Jurgen Klopp's squad. I want to be a part of that. Do you see what they're doing every weekend? Do you see what they're doing in Europe? So when you add Keita, when you add Fabinho, already got Mane and Salah, Firmino, all of these guys, players are seeing this and saying, wow, maybe I can be a big part of that. And it's good to see quality defenders. Got a good goalkeeper. We got Virgil van Dijk, the young kid. I mean, it's good to see defenders that really want to come to Liverpool, because that has kind of been our Achilles heel. Having decent defenders to come in, play well, and help us kind of get over that line. So shout out to Southampton. You know what I mean? I think they played a role in that. And we've had some issues with Southampton here and there. We've probably, as fans, been pissed off with them about the Virgil van Dijk thing. But you see, we continue to do business with each other. They got Danny Ings from us, and I saw the welcome to Danny Ings Southampton video. I'm happy for him. I think he'll get a lot of playing time. He says he was fit all of last season, but just found it hard to get in the squad. Which, I never really rated Danny Ings. I mean, I respect him as a player, and I think he has a bright future, but I never saw it at Liverpool. So all the best to him. And again, at Southampton, they came through for us. I'm still really shocked that City kind of called it that price. At the time, I think that's probably a lot of money, 75 mil, but you see what you're getting. You know what I mean? And that I think is worth it. What position does he play? I think the kid is a center back. Let me know if I'm wrong, Dom. Maybe he's a fullback, and that's why I think Dom was saying that we can go ahead and move Trent up in the midfield. I'm not really sure on position. I should know that, but I know he's a defender. I don't know exactly where he plays. Under 18s, right? Yep. Once he gets work permit, exactly. Yep. I already have Prime, so I've started watching. It's pretty good. It showed in the Prime documentary only City discussing. Yeah. They talked about that in the documentary. Yeah, he's a fullback. Okay, good. Thompson, what's up? I think Klopp trusts Phillips, and obviously, Masterson. I think his name is Master or whatever his name is. He's decent. He's good. I think Phillips is a bit better. It looks that way to me. But yeah, sure, why not? My man, all players love Klopp. There's no way you can be a footballer and not love him. Yeah, unless you're Balotelli. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't know about Taylor really got a fair shot once Klopp came in, and that's neither here nor there. But I always liked Balotelli. I know he wasn't the best with us for a lot of different reasons, but Jason, I just hope we capitalize on our position right now. Yeah, we got to compete. We do. Dominic, why couldn't we have brought Delit with him? Yeah, a lot of people rate Delit. I don't know how I feel about him. I was never really overly excited about that player. Could he have helped us? Probably. Haven't seen Liverpool with this much clout. Exactly, Jason. And that's the thing. I mean, it's really I really have to sit down and just say and shake my head. It's amazing how far we've come in such a short period of time. And even watching Liverpool, I'm thinking, is this really my team? Is this our club we're watching, playing this kind of football, doing this well? It's a third full season for Klopp, and I really, really think there's going to be some special things this season. If we thought last season was a hell of a ride, mainly in Europe, I think we're in for something special this season, guys. I really do. We're set for the future even when Klopp leaves. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing you like about a manager like Klopp, where even when he leaves us, it's not going to be like, Mourinho leaving, I guess, Madrid at the time, kind of all broken, or even Inter Milan for a better example. We're going to be set for a long period of time. And I want to ask you guys, how long do you think Klopp will stay? How many seasons do you think we'll have him? Do you think he'll do another 7? Or not another 7, but another 4, and have a 7-year stretch with Liverpool? Do you think it'll be? Do you think it depends on this season if we're successful? Let me know what you think. The lit is good, but too young. It's risky to have so many young players. How young is he? I thought he was at least 26, 27. Gomez needs to stay fit. I really want a healthy competition. Yeah, look, listen. Let's knock on wood and hope we don't jinx it. But yeah, the center back situation is looking really crazy, which is why at first I was thinking, why would we let Klavan go? But again, if Klopp trusts these young guys, then I'm all for it. I need to find out a timetable for Matip and Lavera's return. But yeah, definitely got to keep Gomez fit. I mean, one injury to any of the center backs and it'll be really bad. I think he'll stay the remainder of his contract. I think we've got him for another 4. Okay, I hope so. He's 17, yeah. And I think Gerrard is likely to be his replacement. Okay, okay. How does everybody feel about Gerrard managing Liverpool? I think on the surface, it's Gerrard, so people are saying, oh, he's club legend. It's an easy choice. The only downside is that, yes, of course, Klopp is going to leave us with a good team, but if Gerrard doesn't do well, that could kind of mess his legacy up. And I think he'll be given all the time he needs because he's Gerrard, but I don't know how I feel about that. It's one thing to be managing Rangers. We'll see how he does with that. Someone said in another video that he was doing well. I haven't really been keeping up with it, but yeah, Brendan Rodgers, Celtic, knocked out of the Champions League situation. So he's saying how he kind of envies the backing that Klopp gets, and I don't knock him. But that's what happens when you show improvement every season, and you bring this exciting kind of football. Not that Rodgers didn't do that, but let's be honest, even with Suarez, the team that he had that almost won the league, in my opinion, on the eye, they're nowhere near this team. I'm sorry, they're nowhere near this team. The excitement, the what you feel every time you watch Liverpool, you got that from time to time, especially with Sturridge and Suarez doing well, but nowhere near this team, in my opinion. I think he'd do a good job. He manages youth well. That's true. Going back to Stevie G. He'll want to win the Champions League again with Bayern. Germans seem to have a love affair with that club. He's doing a pretty good job with Rangers so far. Oh, Jason, did you mean Klopp would go to Bayern after he left us? I think he should take over the German squad, to be honest. I really think that. Let me talk about the German squad real quick because Tony Kroos, let's see, Klopp did say he wants to leave us in a strong position. He did say that. You're right. Tony Kroos. Delit is 17, not 26. Oh yeah, I didn't know. I didn't think he was 17. That's wow. I thought he was definitely older than that. But okay, cool. Thank you. That's why I'm here. I don't know everything. Thank you guys for letting me know. But I definitely didn't think he was 17. We're talking about the same guy. Delit is 17. I definitely didn't know that. He looks older than that. Yeah, Tony Kroos is a joke. It's shameful what he said about Ozil. Here we are with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed German guy who's talking about racism as if he would ever even know what that's like or how that feels. And it's even more, it's sad, that's sad, but also that no other player on that German team has kind of come to the support of Ozil. And they're missing the point on this. Ozil never said there was racism within that team. That was a political thing. He's not saying that, he felt racism within the camp. He never said that. So again, Tony Cruz is deflecting, and why wouldn't he? He's standing up for his white brotherhood. That's cool, but it's really sad that no other player, not Gundogan, not any of these guys that kind of have that Turkish the Turkish roots or whatever. No one came to his defense, and that's really messed up. Apparently, Ozil and Cruz aren't really the best of friends anyway, so it's not really a surprise. But it's just really unfortunate that instead of people talking about the real issues in the game and around the game, and on the pitch in different stadiums with racism, they rather just deflect and try to poke holes into these real issues. And it's really a shame. I think Cruz would have been better off saying nothing. So for me, I've never been a huge. Cruz is a fine football player. Let's not get it twisted. The longevity he has, he'll probably play for a few more seasons. But I've lost any kind of respect I've had for him after that comment. It's very distasteful. It's disgusting. And like someone just said a few minutes ago, he's a monster for that. So all my respect is gone for him. I don't want to hear about Tony Cruz. I don't care what he's doing well. It gives me more of a want to defeat Real Madrid in the worst way possible, because that is just unacceptable. It really is. De Bruyne out 3 months. Yeah, that's been everybody's been talking about. Listen, let's not get it twisted. City are a deep squad, and what Bernardo Silva is doing right now, sure, he's not a KDB. Any other squad in the world, you lose a player like KDB, it's probably a big miss. Not for City though. Not for City. I think they might have a drop off, but they have too many quality players in too many positions for that to be a big deal for them. I'm telling you that now. If I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong, but I'm not like these other YouTube channels. I won't mention any names that are putting out these clickbait about, is the league ours now? Pump your brakes. We played one game. If Liverpool win the title, it will be because we were just a better team. It wouldn't be because City didn't have KDB. Let's not get that twisted. Okay, that's one player. As big of a player he is, Bernardo Silva is proven. Like, look, I'm to be reckoned with. You got to come get my spot. I'm gonna show Pep that you got me for a reason. I'm not gonna be overlooked. So they got enough players, I think. Dom says I love Madrid in the groups. Me too. A lot of people have been saying that. I agree. They look really weak, and I think we could destroy them. Yeah. I think we can beat them if they didn't look weak. Or I think people are saying that based on Atletico Madrid game. Look, Atletico Madrid are a good team. People need to start respecting them, as well as Diego Costa as being top 3 strikers in the world, I would say. Yeah, I said it. The way he just muscles guys off like they're little kids. It's just, he ain't the fastest dude, but he's always cerebral, right place, right time. He's physical. He doesn't back down from anyone. He made Ramos look like a little girl. Diego Costa, top 3 in the world. I said it right here. He has a big effect on games. I can see them struggling a bit more, even against smaller sides. Yeah. I remember Albert Riera saying we were a sinking ship after he left. Yeah. Had Atletico Madrid winning the Champions League before that, a lot more will consider them now. Yeah, they're the team that got Lamar. Lamar looked really good, especially in that second half and that cup final against Real Madrid. They still have Gilson Martins, who didn't even see the pitch. They got a good squad. And when you can have a team like that with, arguably the best player, Griezmann, pretty much being a non-factor and be able to, I think, maybe not dominate Madrid, but they beat them 4-2. And the goals that Madrid got, a penalty, and I figured to score the other goal. But it wasn't like someone tried to tell me that Madrid were the team that was working for other goals and Atletico only got goals because of Madrid's mistakes. Well, that's what good teams do. You take advantage of mistakes, or you force teams to make mistakes. It wasn't like Madrid said, let's make a mistake here. No, they were forced to make mistakes, and they had to pay for it. So I don't want to hear all these excuses for Madrid. I'm tired of it. Garvey, one of the best names I've ever seen on here. Atletico Madrid is a good example of how you effectively play defensive football. Yeah, we know that. Simeone gets sent up to the stands and they still, win. Yeah, it's amazing. Lamar was moved centrally in the second half. Yeah, he was. I like the area they had him in. He was kind of deep at some point, so I'm like, isn't he a winger? But it was good to see him playing all across that part of the field. So I think Lamar will be a really, really good prospect, or not a prospect, just a good player for them when all is said and done. That's exactly what Madrid used to do, pick up on other teams' mistakes. Yep. Atletico Madrid are basically a superior Man United. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a very, very good way to put it, Thompson. I like that. Marcus Garvey for real. Arsenal should have shown him a blank check. Yeah, I agree with that too. They really improved defensively. Yeah, I mean, Atletico Madrid are going to be one of the tough teams in the Champions League. I mean, if you can get that from Lamar, you still got Gelson coming off the bench. I mean, they got a nice squad, and their depth is amazing now, just from those few signings. Um, so, I mean, Diego Simeone is another guy who's kind of been under the radar. I mean, I rate him. I think a lot of you probably rate him, but I think he's top five managers right now in the world. I think he's what he's been able to do with that squad. There's been years where you thought he was going to leave. He stayed with them, and he's another guy that can attract certain players. You see the kind of guys he's getting. Now, you think of Madrid as being, for a lot of the time, defensively, and maybe they would have like they have now, Diego Costa, they had Torres, Griezmann. They had some of these guys. They even tried to get, or they had the guy that played for Porto, Colombian player, I forget his name. He didn't really work out, but they get these players here and there, attacking players. When you can have that with a great defense, Atletico has to be, not only in the Champions League can they be a favorite, but in La Liga. I think everyone's going to say Barcelona. Madrid is kind of the team that people think are going to fall off, although I think they'll still finish in the top three. It'll be the usual suspects: Barcelona, Atletico, and Madrid. So, let's see, Dominic, they didn't have a lot of pace and attack before this year. Imagine them being able to effectively counterattack. Yeah, yeah. He's similar to Klopp. Falcao, yeah, Falcao is right. By the way, LFC fans stopped. Forgot Fakir. Naby's first game, just saying. Barcelona and Atletico will be the two strongest in the Champions League. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's right. I want to really see if Dembele is gonna really kind of take his career to the next level. I was gonna say that, I mean, Liverpool too. I mean, you can mention Barcelona, Atletico, but I think you got to put Liverpool in there. If for nothing else, what they did last season, and let people continue to say we had an easy route. That's fine. To a degree, I would say we had a favorable route. I don't like to use the word easy because, to me, I don't care who you play. Champions League is not easy. The teams that are in Champions League are in there for a reason. So you can say we had an easy route. I don't agree with that. Did you hear Messi say he wants to bring the Champions League back to Barcelona? I didn't hear him say that, but I'm sure he says that every season. I mean, and when's the last time he did that? So I didn't hear it, but that's fine. In my opinion, Barcelona looks slow, and that type of football is outdated. Yeah, when you lose guys like, I mean, they've been lost Xavi. Iniesta is gone. Biscuits is getting old. There's no Alves there on the wing anymore. Listen, they're going to be good because it's Barcelona. When you have a team with Messi and Suarez, you're going to be good. You know what I mean? But again, I don't know if they're going to be that much better than they were last year. Now, it's probably obvious that they're going to really, really focus more on the Champions League this season. Barcelona want a title, especially after seeing their rivals, Real Madrid, win 3 in a row. They want the Champions League title. Let's not get that twisted. But they're going to have to work for it. And I think they might put the league kind of in the background to a bit, and then try to get this Champions League. Juventus, yeah, you got to. I mean, look, I think CR7 wants to get another Champions League in another league. He's got it from Man United. He's got trophies with them. He's got it with Real Madrid, a plethora of trophies with them, all kind of accolades, awards. He wants one with Juventus. And Juventus want to get back to that stage as well. Not only get to the final, but win it. And I think with Ronaldo, you got to put them as one of the favorites. Let's see. Nah, Juve will get out early. You think so? Okay. Italian teams are coming strong. Look, this season, Serie A arguably is probably going to be the best league, most interesting league. I mean, they've done a lot of business in the summer. I mean, Milan has improved. Inter has improved all over the pitch. You got Juventus. Roma has improved nicely, I think, although they've given some players away. They've, in my opinion, replaced them. People thought Nainggolan leaving was a big blow, and maybe it was, but they got Nzonzi, who I think you could arguably say is better than Nainggolan. So, yeah, I mean, Lazio will be good again. Napoli, not sure. But the Serie A is going to get plenty of views from me. I know that. So, yeah, AC Milan for sure. Madrid will go out early. I believe so as well. Hopefully we can help with that as far as a group stage or maybe even a quarterfinal situation. I can see a few more English teams getting further this year. Most likely LFC and City, but possibly Spurs. I don't know about Spurs, man. Not making any signings has got to be one of the biggest mistakes. I mean, I think they're the one team in history for the top 6 or any English side to not make any signings. And I get it. They got a pretty good starting 11, but nobody's going to come in and play over those front three attacking players, Son, Kane, things like that. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know about Spurs going deep in the Champions League though. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I can't see Man United getting past round of 16. I don't think they can get. Yeah, Man United is in. It looks like some trouble right now. The whole Pogba Mourinho thing is getting out of hand. Apparently, allegedly, we all know that certain paper. I'm not going to say the name. We know they like to stir up lies for a lot of the time. So I'm not really willing to believe. A lot of the sources say they go back to that paper. So, but allegedly, Mourinho called him in and said, "Hey, if you want to transfer, all you gotta do is say the word. I'll get rid of you gladly." Now, I think him coming back from getting a title in the World Cup with France, getting the armband, um, you know, apparently Pogba has told him, "If you want to talk to me again, talk through my agent." So listen, I think Pogba is their most important player. To lose him now, which they still could. I think the European window is still open, or in January. That'll be a big loss for them. I don't get why Italian teams sell some of their best players to each other. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's really strange. I mean, to make other teams better, I just don't get that. I don't get that. But maybe that's just an Italian culture football thing. Like they like to do that. Germany does it a lot too. Well, Germany usually Bayern usually gets all the best players in Germany, whether it's somebody from Schalke or Hanover or Dortmund or whatever. So Spurs have just settled for a consistent top four. Yeah, they're the new Arsenal, and I think that's the thing. They're happy to finish above Arsenal and get top four. Let's face it, Spurs have never really been so consistently good as they've been under Pochettino. So maybe they're thinking, hey, this is fine. Let's just do this. Bring more money in, get Champions League every season, finish above Arsenal. We're happy with that. So I can't knock them for that if that's what they think. Mourinho won't finish the season. Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that. Hey, look, this is his third season jinx. This is what happens with him. We know what happened at Chelsea. I'm still on the ropes. It doesn't look great, but we got to see. We got to see. If players who like playing football and want to play and want to win, they're not going to just not play well. They shouldn't do that. They should play to win. They're getting paid. They should be professional. So I don't know. I don't know. But they won't stay there. Poach will leave next year if they have no money, and that will follow with a lot of. Yeah, it makes me wonder what's up with Levy. I mean, you would have thought he would have given him money. I don't know why they didn't get. I mean, Grealish was on the table. They could get Grealish from Aston Villa. So did it come down to Grealish not really wanting to go there? Can't imagine that. You go from the Championship to the Premier League. That seems like a no-brainer. You would play. He wouldn't start probably, but that's the other thing. You gotta think that it's kind of difficult to get players who you gotta tell them, hey, you're not gonna be playing. Now, if you're Liverpool and it's Klopp, and I love Pochettino. I don't know if he has the same clout as Klopp though. I don't know if he has that just yet. You would think he might have that with some Spanish players for obvious reasons. Maybe he could have got some of those guys in. I don't know. But it's hard to get top players to come in and be like, hey, you got to sit on the bench, man, because you're not starting over, this, that, and the third. So they're going to use Kane, Eriksson, all to find their new stadium. Villa just refused to sell them. Okay, anyone worried about Palace? Press conference starts in 2 minutes. Yeah, let me get up off here so I can watch that. Worried about Palace? I wouldn't say. And listen, since Klopp is there, and maybe it's just me, maybe I'm deluded or whatever, I don't get worried before playing. I just don't. I don't. I mean, under Brendan Rodgers, maybe. And I know the whole hoodoo with Sellers Park and, but we've been doing pretty well against them. There was a game where Benteke missed a couple chances. Luckily for us, and we got the win. But listen, Wan-Bissaka is a great player for them. Young talent, fullback, amazing. Van Holt can get up the field. We know Zaha. I don't know if Ayu will play for them. Koyate, I don't know if they're still trying to get them settled in. Max Meyer, we'll see. But they have the usual suspects. It's not really too much surprises unless one of those guys play that we haven't seen play for them. So they got a decent little squad over there. And they'll offer us some issues, I imagine. I mean, with that pace that they have, most teams will give you some problems. But the way that manager coaches, we know how he does. Ray likes to play defensively and then catch teams on a counterattack with set pieces as well. So with Keita carrying the ball the way he does, the way he kind of just got through situations where you thought, man, there's 2-3 people around him, he should probably get rid of the ball. But he has a way to just swivel around guys, find openings, make space. I don't want to keep beating over the head, but that first goal, the space he made for Trent to receive the ball, get it to Robbo, get the goal. One example, and there's more of that to come, guys. So worried, no. I said 4-0. Maybe that's a bit much, but that's what I think. Dominic, I'm not worried about them at all. Cool. Yeah, it's amazing that stadium isn't ready. I don't get that, but whatever. Wembley, that'll be a nice day out for guys up there who are going to the game. I think first half it might be a bit tight, but I think an easy 3-1. Okay. Zaha and Trent is the matchup to watch. Yeah. Not only that, I think Mane versus Wan-Bissaka. I mean, I think he's a good fullback. He's young, but he's very sure of himself, very confident, and he's a guy to watch out for. I'm telling you. Liverpool first 4 or 5. It's great. Zaha plays striker, so he's not going to be coming across Trent as much as he used to. Is that true though? I don't know about that. You could be right. They're gonna have some kind of whiff, and I like to think Zaha will be a part of that. But maybe you're right. Zaha was ripping Trent at Palace last season. He was. He got some things about against Trent, no question about that. But Zaha, I think, will give a lot of fullbacks trouble. So I don't think that's an age thing or anything like that. Zaha is a talented player. And again, keeping him for another season, I think, is a huge coup for Palace alone. Nighttime game. I can't wait. Monday Night Football is great. Can't wait to see the lights at night down there. 3-0 Adam. Okay. England have so many good young fullbacks. Yeah. So yeah, that wraps it up for me, guys. Appreciate your time. And we've been slowly but surely getting some people to join on for our post-match pint after the game against Palace. I wish we were playing City. So again, no pressure, but let me know if you guys want to be on. If you're the type of person who doesn't really want to be seen or whatever, that's cool. We can work that out. But again, no pressure. If you want to join, let me know. Most of you guys know how to reach me on Twitter, RBG_F_C. I think that's it, yeah. Or again, email is anfield6@icloud.com. One love, people.